So I've been playing and recording guitars for nearly 10 years now. Started when I was 15 and I'll be 25 this month. And the entire time I've been playing and recording guitars, I've heard that there's really no substitute for the experience of playing a real analog guitar amplifier. That whenever you're turning knobs, searching for the perfect tone, or whenever you're actually pushing the air from the guitar amplifier, that you, the amp, and the guitar kind of just mold together to become this one instrument. And it's just a much more just inspirational experience compared to recording something like a Helix or a Kemper. And so after hearing that for so many years, I finally decided that it's time that I go out and get a real guitar amplifier that is worthy of replacing my Kemper or my Helix. And I'm just gonna use that to record guitars now. If you enjoyed today's video, please do hit that like button. Also hit that subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me in the future. It's my goal to post weekly content about guitars and home studio production, and just the best way you can support me is by supporting the channel. So thank you for that. Let's go and get this amp mic'd up. Gotta make sure I get it right on the edge of the cone. So as you can tell, just from looking at it, what I have in the studio now is a Fender Blackface Deluxe, and it feels really good to have like the actual real deal in the studio now. For a while I was much more of a Vox guy whenever it came to clean and edge of breakup tones, but just playing my Kemper profiles of pretty much any kind of Fender style amp, I just really have fallen in love with the sound of Fender guitar amp. So like I said, it feels great to have the actual thing in the studio now. Also, I just really love the simplicity of this circuit. There are not too many bells and whistles. You have an on and off switch, you have drive, volume, and tone, and that is all you have on this amp. And let me tell you, it breaks up like no other amp I've ever played. And it also, if you just roll back that drive and maybe not turn the volume up too much, you get some crazy good, just crystal clear, clean tones as well. So this is really, this amp, in my opinion, is a workhorse. It is simple, it is easy to take on the road, and it will just do what you need it to do. I couldn't have picked a better amp for the studio. You guys want to hear how it sounds? Let's go ahead and get some tones going. Okay, so I'm all mic'd up here. I'm using an AKG C414 BULS. I'm using my Dan Electro guitar and the brand new Fender Blackface Deluxe amp. This is my clean tone. So those were my like clean and then straight up overdriven tones with my new Fender Blackface Deluxe amp. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to see what it would sound like if I just threw some effects into the front of the amp. I imagine if I were to play this amp live, that is basically how I would use it, because there's unfortunately not an effects loop on it. So I have my Helix here. I'm going to make a quick effects patch with, like I said, no amp simulation or no cab blocks or anything like that. And I'm just gonna throw that directly into the front of the Fender Blackface Deluxe and see how the delays and the reverb and stuff sound when they break up with like the preamp stages of the amp. I'm really excited to see how this sounds. Let's go ahead and give this a try. Okay, so we are all set up with the Helix. I'm using the Basic Board 3 preset. That is from Worship Tutorials. That is literally overdrives, some compression, reverbs, and a little bit of modulation, but there are no amp blocks and no cab blocks in that preset. We're going directly out of the Helix with a 1/4 inch out directly into the front of the amp, and we're still using the Dan Electro guitar. Okay, so we've done some clean tones, some overdriven tones, and some tones with effects from the Helix. The next most obvious thing to do is see what the amp sounds like in the context of a full mix. Let's see how it sounds. So as you can tell by now, hopefully, this whole video is just a joke, and I'm not hating on real amps or anything. I think real amps are awesome. I'm actually kind of in the market for a real amp, so if you guys have any suggestions for that, leave that in the comments as well. But this whole video started, a coworker of mine put this on my desk the other day, and I just started playing with it, and I was wondering, I wonder if I can make this sound decent in a full mix, and basically I couldn't. I mean, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever heard, but I mean, definitely not usable, but it is actually pretty surprising how good of a guitar tone you can get from this small thing. And then whenever you mic it up, obviously it's lacking some of the real amp qualities that we know and love. It just surprisingly wasn't as crappy as you thought it was going to be whenever you put it under a mic and just recorded it, threw it in, you know, full mix context with some synths, some bass, drums. You almost couldn't tell. I mean, it just kind of sounded like a really crappy amp sim from back in the day. If you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button. Also hit the subscribe button so you can see more videos from me in the future. I'll see you guys in the next one.